do you speak properly? Do you say bottle or bottle? Would you say little or little? What you're hearing when someone says little as opposed to little is a glottal stop. And what it means is you're not pronouncing particularly the middle T's, usually a double T, but not always. Sometimes it can be a single T, but it's called the glottal stop, basically, and it's the way you say your words because of accent and the way you've been brought up. It's your peer group pressure to do that. Cockney is a prime example, isn't it? Bottle of beer, that kind of thing. But it doesn't necessarily mean, if you've got glottal stops when you're pronouncing your T's in the middle of words, or not pronouncing the T's in the middle of your words, it doesn't mean you can't do voiceover work. It's just that that's what you sound like. Now, sometimes clients want you to be a bit more precise, but more often than not, they don't. They want you to be conversational. They don't want you to cross those T's and dot those I's. They want a much more conversational tone of voice. And if they've employed you in the first place because they like the way you speak and they like the tone of your voice, then it's fair to say that that's what they want. If you've got glottal stops, so you are saying bottle and so on, it doesn't necessarily preclude you from voiceover work, because presumably the client, when you did your audition, the client has assumed that's what you sound like. And if you then start pronouncing your T's, bottle, little, then it will sound wrong because it's not you. Before we move on and just talk a little bit more about glottal stops, let's just have a look at some typical ones. And you've probably come across these. So we've got butter, bottle, of course, we've discussed that one. Button, Britain. Now, Britain. I'd say Britain as opposed to Britain. Great Britain. I wouldn't say that. I'd go Great Britain. And you can hardly hear the T at all there, can you? Britain, written, curtain. Again, curtain and Britain, they're single T's. They're not double T's. Little, we've spoken about. Guitar, interestingly, a very interesting one. Guitar. Now, I would always pronounce the T there. Guitar. You want guitar. I don't know how you do it. Guitar. Yeah, I don't know how you do a glottal stop on a guitar. I would question whether that is one, actually. Glottal itself, and of course, probably the most famous one, bottle. So glottal stops are kind of common, and lots of people do them. And there's a sort of I think it's not you do them or you don't do them particularly. Sometimes you can do a halfway sort of bottle. It's there, but it's very soft. But where the glottal stop is pronounced, it would be a kind of, bottle or little or whatever, curtain. You see, I think I mix and match personally. I would say Britain, as I've said, or curtain. I might go either way. I think the key to it is when you're doing your voiceovers and you're presented with double T's particularly, I think the key to it is to do it as natural as possible. What would you do in normal conversation? And if you would pronounce the T's, double T's in little, then say that. But if you wouldn't, if you'd go, well, that was a little bit like this, then do it like that, because that's what you sound like. And that's the sound of you. I mean, you're always looking for something that is distinctive about you and your voice and the way you pronounce things. So glottal stops aren't a no-no at all. Be aware of them. If it's very pronounced and you accidentally do one, so it slipped into your script reading, and the rest of it you weren't doing a glottal stop. If there were other words with T's in the middle, and it was inconsistent, then that would probably stand out like a sore thumb. So consistency is key. But normally the way to maintain consistency is to be as much like yourself as possible. Remember, that's your biggest selling point. So don't let glottal stops stop you from doing your voiceovers. All right. Thanks very much for watching today. Look after your voice, and I'll see you next time.